Hope you're well. Hope you're strong. Hope you're ready. Hope you're great. You're great. You're great. You're doing amazing. You're doing fantastic. Update on the book. Still going strong. That's all I can say at this point. Every time I always say, I'm gonna move on. So I'll just say from now on, it's alive. It's progressing. Every day I make progress. And I'm nearing the end of a chapter. I doubt it's the second last chapter. I think there'll be maybe 2 more after. We'll see. But things are definitely getting wrapped up. I'm having fun. It's always somewhat surprising, but also nice when I see videos of people doing like book hauls, book reviews, even like in the ASMR space. It's mostly girls, to be honest. I think the literary landscape, at least these days, definitely does cater more towards a lot of women. You really don't see that many prominent male authors these days. I'm trying to think, you got your usual suspects like Stephen King, who's still, I think he's still writing. What's that homie's name? Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, I blanked out after that. In general, like, authors right now who are prominent and still doing it in men. Can't even think of that many. I'm sure they're there. Like, what's that guy? James Patterson, I think. He writes like the thriller novels. There's a couple. But the market is definitely saturated with a lot of female authors. So I think it definitely caters towards a more female audience. I don't mind. I'm gonna do me regardless, and I think it'll appeal to everyone. I don't think it's like a gender specific. I think anyone can get on board with this. When I saw how popular stuff like the Avengers was with girls and stuff like that, it shows that you really don't have to play to a specific crowd. You just do you, and if it's good, it's good, man. You'll find your audience. So, yeah, I'm hoping that it'll find an audience. People will enjoy it. I really think it's good. I'm reading it and I'm like, this is good. I'm really enjoying it, so I can't wait to get the last chapter wrapped up and then just start tightening the whole thing up and seeing how it looks as a complete body. Even though it's just part 1, there's going to be a part 2. There's probably going to be a part 3, to be honest. It's quite a long story, and there's details I'm thinking of now that I need to add. So I think it's gonna, yeah. Be a saga, but yeah. Last night I just saw this ASMR girl. And I shout out. Let me check my YouTube history. Laura's ASMR. She was doing February reads. So the book she read in February. Laura's ASMR. Laura. So yeah, I've seen a couple videos like when I search for ASMR on YouTube. Sometimes you just see, book reviews and stuff of that nature. I'm sure it's not just specific to ASMR. There's book talk. Yeah, people are still reading, which is nice. The reason why I said it's surprising before I said it's surprising is because sometimes you feel like no one reads anymore. Yeah, but people definitely still read. I tend to read like non-fiction. I don't read that much fiction. So, I really don't know what to go into these days. I don't know, but I'm hoping I find a crowd that's into my style and the little tale I'm telling. Yeah, the book club is still definitely a thing I want to do. I'm looking forward to it. So for everyone wondering, is this book ever going to come out? I know it's taking a while, and sometimes you just wonder, because I keep saying, next week. In my mind, I'll genuinely be thinking, this will be done soon. I need to stop doing it. I always say this though. What's wrong? I sound like a broken alarm or something. I keep saying the same thing. But it's just somehow I just genuinely think I'm gonna be done soon. And then I realize, oh no, I need more time. But I'm having fun though. It's just so amazing to see characters come to life and world being fleshed out, and I'm really excited to read this. I think there's a lot to sink your teeth in. I think my writing style. So here's the thing about me. I'm very bad at planning, traditional planning. I think I do plans just in my own way. I can't do the whole mind map thing, all this sort of stuff, story maps, and the many things people do in their planning and all. I suck at all that because I tend to get lost in detail. If I get too into the weeds or something, I can't stop going, and my mind, it just feels like my mind is just stretching, and eventually I can't do it anymore. So I just need to write. So what happened with this book is an iteration of drafts, versions of the story, or multiple versions of this book. You should read some of the earlier versions. Oh my god. It's just like, what the hell was I doing? But it led to this point where I finally settled on an idea that was just, I was like, yeah, this is the one. So you should just see some of the earlier versions, man. It's like, they're so all over the place. It's very outlandish. Tangents that I'll go on. Eventually the story stopped being about what it was about. People started going to different realms, and it's really hard to explain how confused the story became. But yeah, for me, my method is like I have to write a full draft and then write again and write again, and until I settle on something. I can't do the whole. Maybe I can. Maybe one day I'll figure out a way to do the more conventional story structuring, to feel natural. But it's such a pain whenever I try it, so I'll just kind of, this is the method that works for me. It's like, just keep writing until you figure something out, to land on something. You know, I like to have an ending in mind before I start a project. I want to know how it ends, because then I know what I'm working towards. So I have a theme. I have like, okay, what sort of story am I trying to tell? What's the message? Like, what is the setting? So I figured out all that sort of stuff, and that helps me then figure out how I'm gonna end it once I have a lot of that information. Because it's just, I just start, piecing things together, and I come up with an ending, and then it's easier to backtrack and come up with other details once you have that ending. So that's what I did this time around. I'd written all these drafts, and then I was like, okay. So first what I said is, okay, I've written, so this version of the story I started writing like in August of last year. So in my mind, for a while I was thinking, it took me it's taken me less than a year to write a full book. But then I remembered that I've been writing this for like before that point, more than a year. Like there were multiple versions of the story that I'd written, and they're all trash. Was it more than a year? I don't know. It's been a while, and I kind of lost track of the timeline. Regardless, it didn't really start out as like a love story. It started out as more so just an adventure of pirates looking for cursed treasure. You know, the typical pirate adventure, which isn't a bad thing. I think you can still be original within well-established motifs and ideas. I just wanted to find something simple that I can execute. But then I was like, you know what? Let me find something even simpler. So I stripped it down and said, what's the most simple storyline I can come up with that's also fun to execute? So I said, I just thought to myself, like, just give me, it has to be a sentence. It has to be something you can say within one sentence, and it just makes sense. But so much can happen because of that. So the line I came up with is something along the lines of, guy's girl gets kidnapped. He has to go rescue her. Very simple, not complicated. It's been done before. And there's a lot of inspiration I can draw from that in many different types of genres and whatnot. And it's easy enough to execute, right? So then I came up with that and said, okay, cool. Guy's girl gets kidnapped, yes, it's a rescue. Who kidnaps her? Who is she? Da 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 da. And then all these details start popping out. And I'd come up with the ending as well. Like where does the ending take place? That sort of stuff. I was writing, and for the first time, ever since I've been writing, it's just been for many years, just writing in general. Many years of doing this. I think I started writing at like 6 years old. I think that's when I developed a idea that I could be good at this. I'm not sure when I actually started writing. I'm not sure. Maybe that was in high school. Regardless, for the first time in my life, after I'd written all these drafts, and then I kind of stripped everything down to this very basic concept. And then I started writing and expounding upon that concept. The first time I was like, I'm going to finish this. I had so much confidence. I think when I'd gotten past like 40,000 words or something like that, maybe at 50 or something, I just had a sense that I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to, because I've had confidence before only to fail. only to start again or just abandon an idea completely. But it felt different this time. It felt like, yo, the more I write, the more confident I get. And I was like, I'm gonna finish this. I'm definitely gonna finish it. So, that was amazing. And yeah, draft one of this version of the story got completed. So now I have a full draft of this story. So then I finished the draft and I'm like, okay, now I just need to edit it and I'll put it out. So while I was editing, I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm doing so much rewriting. I stopped calling it the editing phase because I realized this is a rewriting. I'm writing everything from scratch. I think the first few chapters, for whatever reason, they just went by very smoothly. Like that was editing. I think the first few chapters was pretty solid in terms of just setting up the story. But the deeper I got into it, the more I wanted to change. If it had just been editing, I think I would have been done a while ago. But it's a lot of rewriting going on. It's purely rewriting. It's not even editing. It's just pure rewriting. I take some concepts, like I'll take the core concept of the chapter, for example, like where it's set, what is the cost in this particular chapter. I like breaking down into like, this chapter is starring this character and this character, that kind of like a movie. And this is the main star of the chapter, this is the person who is the lead role, so stuff. So, I'll take those concepts. So it's not like I'm just starting entirely from scratch with each chapter. There are general details that remain the same. But there's a whole lot of stuff that gets changed. There's sometimes characters that get added. Definitely characters that get added. In the chapter I'm writing now, I introduced a new character. He's very cool. I like him. I really do like him as well. Anyway, so yeah, I realized I'm rewriting this thing, so yeah. That being said, I still have a framework to work with. I still have this first draft that tells me a lot about the direction I'm going in. I'm not going in blind. I'm not making things up as I'm going along anymore. I have an entire finished draft of the story. If I polished that one, I could put it out on its own, maybe its own version of the story. But I feel like there's so much added, so much already added and whatnot that just makes it so much better. So yeah, but I have confidence that this will get done. Part 1 is going to be out. And then it's just about finishing part 2, finishing part 3, and boom. Then you start again. Start again with another story, I already have an idea for another story I want to tell. Completely separate from this one. They have nothing to do with each other. It's a different genre, different. Yeah, everything's different. So that's going to be interesting. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait for people to read it. I really do think people enjoy it. I mean, look, I've put out quite a few excerpts at this point, so you should have a general sense of my writing style and my capabilities. So I think by reading the excerpts, you'll be able to tell whether you enjoy it or not, I guess. You can tell that if you're into my style, and my style of storytelling. Yeah. most people that have read it seem to like it. So I at this stage, I'm happy with, especially because I want to do the book club. I'm happy with just, even if it's a handful of people who read it, enjoy it, show up for the book club thing. We have discussions, we have meaty discussions about the various themes being explored on the events of the story. I'm happy with that. That's so fulfilling for me, and I look forward to it. God willing, more people latch onto it, and it becomes popular. That's a dream, right? That's a writer's dream. But yeah, really and truly, like, just being able to host a small book club. Oh, the lawnmower is on. Might have to tip, yeah. Really and truly, just being able to host a book club was very fulfilling. Even if there's like 5 people in it, being able to talk about my work with people that have read it, it's a blessing, dude. So I'm just writing with like those 5 people of mine. It might be more than 5 people. I put up a poll a while ago, and several people expressed interest in joining the book club. So we'll see how many people actually end up showing up. But I write with an audience of 5 in mind. I can make it as good as I can for those 5 people. If everyone else hates it, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see now. We'll see how it goes. But I have confidence that we'll have a fun time. I think it was a very wild story, but it's very fun as well. The world is very interesting. The characters are very interesting. It's a very cool fight scene and stuff like that. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'll be very proud if we can grip someone, if we can just be like, I've read books that you just like, they really absorb you, and time flies, and you're having fun. They really, you get transported to that world for a period of time. I'm very proud of myself that I can give someone that sort of experience where they're hooked, and they're looking forward to each chapter, and they're excited to read more, and they can't wait for the next book to come out, and stuff like that. If I can get people that enthusiastic, amazing. That being said, the lawnmowers are running. You prefer to get closer and start making it. I like the page and whenever you said your father had anything missing that you're watching this right now, things are making it home and looking down and moving towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. This blessing this person with wonderful people in the life of love and take care of everything that shit that's not going to continue on to there, but you do the same thing. Thanks for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining the love of marriage and making very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so you can give thanks for all the wonderful things in life and giving thanks that divine peace can send and attract even more blessings. Let your prayers be followed by person's life and make sure God, the spirit of your love and yours be life and good health and life and happiness of this person and the by the man and Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen.